Welcome to the Old Coins Explorer. Here we are exploring the hidden secrets about old and rare coins. Did you know that a small, almost forgotten piece of British currency once caused massive public curiosity, coin collector frenzy, and even led to mistakes that became treasures? The 1982 British 20 pence coin is far more than a simple silver disc. It's a coin wrapped in the legacy of modernization, royal elegance, and rare design significance. If you've ever found a 20p in your couch cushions or at the bottom of your wallet, you may want to take a second look, especially if it's from 1982. Let's take a fascinating journey through the story of the British 20 pence coin, how it was introduced, why it mattered in British currency reform, the features that make it so unique, and why collectors today still eagerly seek out this specific year. In the early 1980s, Britain was adjusting to the decimalization of its currency, a process that started in 1971. Decimalization meant moving away from pounds, shillings, and pence to a system where everything worked in multiples of 10. It was supposed to make money easier to use, more efficient, and in tune with the modern financial world. But for years, there was a gap. There was a 10p coin and a 50p coin. But what about something in between? The government had its eye on a middle denomination that could serve the purpose of convenience, especially with rising prices and inflation. The idea of the 20 pence coin was born, and in 1982, it became a reality. Now, here's something important. 1982 wasn't just any year, it was a debut. This was the very first time a 20 pence coin had ever been minted in the United Kingdom. That alone makes it a historic issue. For collectors, the first year of a coin's release is often one of the most valuable because it marks the beginning of something new, a point of transition. Think of it like the first model of a classic car or the pilot episode of a legendary TV series. It's where the legacy starts. The 1982 20p coin was striking in both design and function. It was made of cupronickel, a blend of 84% copper and 16% nickel, giving it a bright silvery appearance. It weighed exactly 5 grams and measured 21.4 millimeters across. But what stood out the most? Its shape. It was octagonal, 7 sides. Unlike traditional round coins, the 20p's distinctive shape made it easy to recognize by touch. This was especially important for visually impaired users and for people sorting coins by hand or in machines. It was a blend of practicality and visual uniqueness. On the obverse side of the 1982 20 pence coin is the famous portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. But here's a detail that coin enthusiasts appreciate. This portrait was designed by Arnold Machin, a British sculptor and designer. His version of Her Majesty is youthful, regal, and has adorned many British coins and stamps. She wears the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a nod to royal tradition that's both elegant and symbolic. The inscription around the portrait reads, Elizabeth II digit reg.f.d. 1982. The Latin abbreviations stand for De Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. These aren't just words. They're steeped in history, monarchy, and national identity. Now, flip the coin over, and you'll find an equally important symbol. The reverse features a crowned Tudor Rose, an emblem steeped in British royal history. This reverse was designed by Christopher Ironside, one of the most respected British coin designers. The Tudor Rose itself is an amalgamation of the red rose of Lancaster and the white rose of York, a symbol of unity after the famous Wars of the Roses. That adds historical weight to the design, as it's not just a pretty flower. It's a story of reconciliation and strength. Above the rose, the value 20 is clearly marked, while 20 pence runs along the top edge. Interestingly, one of the most brilliant aspects of this coin was that it didn't have to be dated every year. The design was fixed. No need to change it unless something major occurred, like a new monarch or national change. That means the 1982 version held on to its freshness and originality longer than many coins of its time. Now, let's talk about rarity and value. If you own a 1982 20p coin, you might think it's common. After all, it was circulated in the millions. But here's the thing. It's not about how many were minted. It's about what that coin represents. The 1982 version is special because it was never included in the standard Royal Mint annual sets. It was released into circulation and never packaged in a proof or uncirculated form. That means finding a pristine one today is incredibly rare. Collectors have to sift through hundreds, sometimes thousands, of circulated coins just to find one in excellent condition. And in the coin world, condition is everything. A worn coin might be worth face value, or slightly more, but a perfectly preserved 1982 20p in mint condition can fetch a decent premium. Some have sold for 10 to 20 times their face value at auctions or online marketplaces. And if you're fortunate enough to stumble across an error coin, say one with a misstrike, a double die, or a planchet flaw, now you're talking hundreds of pounds or more, depending on its uniqueness. Adding even more allure to the 20p story is what happened years later. In 2008, the Royal Mint redesigned the reverse side of many coins, including the 20p, as part of unified shield design. During this transition, a number of 2008 dated 20p coins were mistakenly minted without a date, an error that exploded in popularity among collectors. Those undated 20p coins became instant treasures, and guess what? That frenzy brought attention back to the original 1982 issue. People started looking for the first again. So next time you hear a coin jingle in your pocket, don't overlook the humble 20p, especially if it hails from the legendary year of 1982. Because in the world of coins, even the smallest change can tell the biggest stories.